pies the product of pies? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Fat Podcast. I am your co-host, Jay Lane. I'm sat with my other co-host,
Zack.
Oriah Springfield. No, Zack Mitchich.
Yeah, that works.
How you doing, brother?
You know what? I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing really well.
Doing really well.
Yeah.
Is that because you cheated a little bit?
What?
Because you told me that you took a peek at your weight for next week. Look at that face.
Maybe. I'm not going to spoil anything for next week. You're going to have to watch next week.
Don't be spoils.
But this week...
Yeah.
Well, we say this week. Once again, we went on Monday, so it feels like we've already...
this week for the pod.
But it feels like we've done the bulk of our next week diet already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, this week, pretty good. How should we get the... I've forgotten how much I've lost. For this week.
It's just the introduction bits at the moment.
Yeah.
So you're good, yeah?
Alright, yeah.
He's trying to fuck up.
I don't know. I'm still new at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah. So how you feeling in yourself, brother?
I'm feeling good. Now that I was saying this earlier, but ever since I've been back on the wagon, so to speak, right? So since my birthday, right? I'll still get stressed out by things and annoyed by things and like a bit sad by things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can get back to my baseline sooner, knowing that I have a bigger goal that I'm working towards that's going really well.
Yeah.
So like this morning, I had some issues. I was upgrading my PC with more RAM, right?
Yeah.
It's caused nothing but issues. Stress test it now. It seems to work fine. It's not working the way it was advertised to work. So I might set it. But anyway, right? During that time of like it boot looping and like me not clicking it in properly to begin with, because I'm like, oh, you have to do it really fucking hard to get RAM in now. I was just like really stressed and like those things would stress me out. And then like right after it happened, and it was fixed fully, right? Or I thought it was fixed fully at the time. I got back to base level. I'm feeling pretty good. A lot quicker than I think I would have if I was like, because I think I tend to spiral.
Yeah.
Once something bad happens, I'll be like, oh, this and fucking wrong. Money problems and fucking I'm fat as shit. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I think my base getting back to a level of normal is a lot faster now, which I think
that's good shit.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed the same.
Mental space, yeah. I've noticed definitely the same. But yeah, for me, I've been good.
I've been good.
I've been good, man. You know, got my new computer this week, so you know we're sat here looking at it. You can't see it on the camera, but it's a sexy beast.
Is it? It's a sexy beast. Yeah.
It's proper 16, 17-year-old wet dream. Like it's all lights and shit.
I think it's a bit more elegant than that. You haven't got like LED strips all around it.
Of course,
and
it's
like
elegant. I fucking built it, bitch. Well, I didn't physically build it, but I chose the shit in it. And
anyone who doesn't give a shit about computers is like, I don't understand how a PC can be sexy. I don't understand what's going on.
It's a sexy machine, you know. But yeah, so I've had a great week. Just like I've stress tested it in a different way, in a fun way.
Yeah.
Like you've been stress testing because you fucked something up. I've just been stress testing by sitting there going, what are the most graphically capable games right now, and just installing all of them, you know, and just testing them. So that's been like really fun, and it's not caused me one thing. Like literally, I have this thing with my car, right?
Right.
Well, I don't have this thing with my car, but I've had this thing with all of my cars.
Right.
Where like you get a new car.
Yeah.
You can equate it to anything because you're not really a car-loving person. It's
True.
An A to Z thing for you.
Yeah.
But for me, it's kind of like one of my main things is I want a nice car, right? So I bought a car, and the first 2 weeks you're in like honeymoon phase of, man, it's a new car, like kind of thing. Yeah, but after the 2 weeks gone, I always find at least one thing that will just piss me off about the car. You know, I just like, I love it, but this thing, you know, like when I had my SLK 350, lovely car, Mercedes, everything's nice, but I was like, it's just not that comfortable to sit in.
Yeah,
and that just pissed me off to no end. And then obviously like my white Beamer, which you really liked, it just wasn't fast enough, and I was just like, it just pissed me off.
I'm not a car guy, but I would take comfort over and like creature comforts within the car. It could look like dog shit outside, but if I'm comfortable and all my shit works smoothly, I'm happy.
Yeah, so like work, you know, as are now saying, is pray to different gods in this scenario. But with my new car, it's not like that. I've had it now for like 5 months, and I still love it like it was the first day I got it.
That's
and
nice.
I think it's because it's literally my Mercedes and my Beamer mashed
all
together.
the best parts. Yeah.
And then better in all of the different ways as well. In the ways that, like, I love my Mercedes because it was a really nice car and it was fast.
Yeah.
You know? But whereas my car's faster than my Mercedes and it's a really nice car. It's got all the bells and whistles, got like, you know, inbuilt Bluetooth, computer, all that kind of stuff, heated leather seats, all that jazz. And then the same goes for my Beamer because it's really nice to look at. And every single time, I'm not right now, because I drove the other day and fucking literally as I come around this corner, dirt truck in front of me for 3 miles. When you leave today, go look at my car. It's nasty, right? But usually I come out and I'm like, oh, I fucking love the look of that car. Like, we had our AC out yesterday for my missus' car, right? Her battery went dead because she never drives her car. So they put a new one in. But even the RC guy came, he was like, whose car's that? Because it was parked next to the thing. And I was like, oh, it's mine. He's like, oh. He was like, that's nice now. He was like, and then Ruth was like, yeah, but it's too fast. And he goes, it's an Ardo. You've got to allow it. It's lovely. You know what I mean? And he's like, got to allow it. And I love that.
That conversation. Yeah, because I remember when you had your convertible Beamer and you drive around, I was in the car with you, and people would just be like, sick car, mate. That's fucking awesome. Like,
they just talk to you. Like I've had a couple of people. Like I had a guy on a motorbike. I'm coming down, leaving work, and he's behind me, and he comes and rides up beside me to tell me to rev the car. Yeah. He's like, give it a rev, give it a rev. And I was just like, oh, I love that kind of stuff.
That's funny.
But rewind. I get the same thing that of something is pissing me off about this thing, and I can't quite fall in love with it. Right?
Really?
No, that I mean in general.
Oh yeah.
But not yet. But I am in the
honeymoon
2 week period. You know what I mean?
I can't. The only thing that I would think, it's not of the visual podcast, but it can't really see. Yeah. But anyway, you put it side on, which is really nice. It works really well. But if you're here, like enjoying a comic or something, nothing but ugly. Yeah,
you get the ugly back of the PC bit. Yeah. Where I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't sat there because I literally haven't sat there because Zack sits in my comic book reading chair.
Not reading chair. Comic book reading chair.
I don't read books. Are you crazy?
Books?
No, but yeah, you sat in my comic. But if you do sit there, you can see the back of the machine.
Yeah.
Which, you know, when you have a PC, it's just all wires, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But other than that,
yeah,
just cut that off.
Lovely.
Sensual. Can we go back to the car thing for a second?
Yes.
I had the reverse experience the other day. So I went to
that's a piece of shit.
Not even. But I was I went to a site for work.
Yeah.
And I met a new contractor who I've never worked with before, and we were just talking in general, right? And he was like, "Oh, is that your motor?" Right? And I was like, first of all, that's already a bad sign because I feel like he already knows more about cars than I do. And so he was driving like a work pickup, right? So I was like, you can't really tell anything by that. But he points at it, and it's like basically a Golf GTI, but it's a Ford.
So a Ford ST, a Fiesta ST?
Yeah, something like an S or whatever, right? Like really decked out, new real wheel rims and stuff, right? He's like, so is that your motor then? I was like, no. And I had to point to, basically I'm using my parents' car at the moment. And it's just like basically a minivan. Yeah, it's just like, oh, alright.
It's like, that's just killed the combo.
Yeah, it's funny. I like the assumption as well because I'm a young guy that I must be driving like a RS or something like that.
I literally had the same because I was on a site because there was an internet outage and an open reach engineer had to come out.
Yeah.
And he came into the office and I let him in and he was like, is that your Soroka out there? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, nice. Yeah.
I've never experienced anything like that. It's fucking insane.
And it always, like, if someone's like there's two different types of car people. There's like a car person like me that's just like, I like the car and it's nice and it's fast. That's all I need to know. Yeah. And then there's other people that like go, oh, and they start asking me about
that's with like the engine stats. Pistons are like
and I'm just like, mate, you got a fucking clue what you're on, mate. Because they're like, oh, have you ever serviced? I was like, why the fuck would I service it myself? I was like, I just go to the garage. I got a mate, you know. I just want it to work, be fast, and look nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does. So, yeah, I love it. But yeah, so that's where I am with the PC.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm still in that honeymoon period, but nothing as of yet has annoyed me about it. It's very much exceeded expectations for me. You know,
That's good.
because like I thought, like I played God of War that's just come out on PC, and I was just like, this'll test this bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This'll proper test it. So I loaded it up, and I was like, go into settings, put it on ultra, and it was already on ultra, which is already a good sign because it's got like PC's beast. So I put it on ultra. Obviously, I got an ultra wide screen as well, so it adds that little bit more stress to it.
Pizzazz, yeah.
But mate, like butter, fucking no problem at all. You know,
That's delightful. This will mean nothing to anyone who doesn't like. We've gone really hyper specific at the bit, alienate a lot of people, both cars and computers. Jesus Christ. Is that a 3060 Ti?
yes,
And is it 12 gig?
8.
8.
Yeah.
I see 12 gig and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Are you doing a moon landing? What the fuck?
Yeah, because the 360 is 12 gig and the 360 Ti is 8.
Yes.
But they do like somewhat different with like the RAM and the cores. It's kind of like cars is stats, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go on fucking GPU benchmark.
Yeah.
See how much the percentage is better from the last generation, and obviously compare that uppage or downage in the price that it cost me for the thing. So like, because graphics cards can cost you an absolute fucking tiny little, like a little fortune to get a graphics card.
Because you got this, I've been Googling, right?
Yeah.
And like a 3060 Ti is like 780 or something like that,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like, you can get a like near top of the line for like 1,300, right? An i9 10 core, 32 gigs of RAM, a decent motherboard, a full case, full cooling. Like, you might as well just buy that and gut it for the thing, and then sell it without a graphic, and you'll probably break even or something.
Exactly, it's mental. Just like take the graphics card out, sell that singularly, and then sell the PC and go, doesn't come with the graphics card, but it's got all this shit.
Especially with the Ryzen one with like the APU, so like you can run like Fortnite or whatever anyway, and you can sell it as a gaming. It's mad.
Exactly.
The space is fucked at the moment.
But yeah, let's stop alienating people. That's the car and PC section of the pod. So now we're gonna go into our diets, Zach. So you little bastard, let's go to this page. So hey guys, as you can see, the oh no, because I've got a different screen, you can't see we'll just have to say so Zach had another boss week, didn't you, mate? Another boss week. So
yes, sir.
You're 81.3 now, 78. So that's 3.3 pounds.
3.3 pounds. Maybe we should have like a little like amount lost in like poundage.
Maybe.
For next time.
But it's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy about that, man. If I could even get half that consistently, like I'll be to my goal in like 7-8 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And like by the end of the year being, or like end of summer, midsummer.
Are you still using Lose It? So you are, but you're not counting calories.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm on my 3rd week of not counting calories.
I want you to, because then it tells you the projection, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
Even if you're not counting calories, just ignore the number, but just put the food in.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, and then at least after a week, you can compare what you think it's going to take compared to what Lose It thinks it's going to take.
I probably will, but I think only when I'm forced to. Because I'm just enjoying the fact that because I've set these blinders on myself, you don't like it or understand it, but because I've set no sweets or chocolates, right? And I have a very wide range for that. So that means like no cookies or pastries or desserts, that kind of thing, right? Just cutting all that out and not eating like McDonald's like twice a week or once a week, right? I don't have to. I literally eat intuitively now. I'm like, towards the end of the day, I'm quite hungry. I'll have like a full meal of like meat, vegetables, and like maybe like a fuck ton of mash or something, right?
Yeah.
But that's all I'll eat all day. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, so you're technically like intermittent fasting. Really,
yeah, essentially. Yeah. And it's like, it's working really well. Yeah. And I don't stress about food during the day. I'm like, I'll have a massive fucking meal later. It's fine.
In the space where like I was, like when we were doing the podcast last time, and I was losing all the weight. And I kept telling people, and they're like, "Oh, nice." And I'm like, "How much you lost?" I'm like, "Oh, 3 stone." Like, and they're like, "Oh, nice." And they're like, "Have you tried this?" And I'm like, "Why the fuck would I do that?"
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you've literally just heard me tell you that I'm losing shitloads of weight. Why the fuck would I change it now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it ain't broke,
don't fix it. Yeah. I think I'll only be able to get away with this for so long, because especially when I get down to like, I already told you I have like goal and rewards for like
Yeah.
specific times, which I should probably bring up at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe I've got like another month or so of this where I can just intuitively, and I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm not stressing about food.
Yeah,
anymore.
man. But the thing is, because we weigh weekly, you'll see you'll be prompted by the lack of weight loss when you hit
Yeah.
that thing where you got to go right. Need to start calorie counting so I can reduce my calories.
Yeah,
You know?
and also just like I think I have to make sure. I think we both do that when we get to that point of just like, oh, I've hit a plateau. I'm not losing weight at the moment.
Yeah.
Just to like not spiral. Just to be like, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
It is a shitter, isn't it? When
But
you
like
do-
for
you
real,
do
like
for a whole week watching everything you eat and you lose nothing. Like it's fucking terrible.
and
Yeah.
it does happen. It probably will happen.
Oh, I just forgot I was going to do something on this pod.
What?
I was going to try and not swear. And I fucked that right up. No, 'cause-
Why? How come you're trying not to
'cause
swear?
obviously you need to get back on Facebook because we got because we've got a Facebook group now. We got the Fat Podcast Facebook group.
Oh la
Has
la.
45 members, which ain't too bad. So you got to activate your Facebook again
Yeah.
so you can join the group.
Fair.
Okay, because our mutual friend posted in there the other day. Our mutual friend Dean.
Oh,
Posted
yeah?
in there. Yeah, good old Dean. So he watches /
That's
listens to
good.
the pod. Hey
Hi, Dean.
Yeah, so we got a Facebook group.
Group. Yeah.
And my dad posted on there,
Yeah.
and like my dad's quite a sarcastic, satirical person when he's trying to joke. And,
Yeah.
and every time he comments about the pod, he always swears because he's making fun of me swearing.
Oh.
So he was like, "Oh, it was a fucking good pod today," you know. And he's making fun of me because I always swear. So what I was going to try and do was not swear for a whole pod,
Yeah.
which is like
And
2 hours. Which is
next time,
extreme.
we'll
Yeah,
prep
next time.
ourselves next time. Yeah.
I'll have to just put it in the pod notes so I know
Yeah.
not to swear.
Are you Does your dad not like swearing then? Is he not a fan?
He's old fashioned, isn't he? So he's he's probably sat there going, "Oh, not old fashioned," but so like if it's funny, like Ruth, right?
Yeah.
Dad knows Ruth. Who has the worst language, me or Ruth?
Ruth.
Exactly. So we'll be sat there having a conversation. I'll go, "Oh, what a fucking bastard," and he'll go, he'll say, "Oh, fuck," and he'll go, "Oh, sorry, Ruth." And I'm like, wait. I'm like, what are you sorry for? I was like, she's got worse language than both of us.
That's very funny.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so he's old fashioned in that way, but he does swear, especially at football, like me, when we're watching football. Be like, what a useless fucking bastard. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I was going to try and not swear. Anyway, back, I think your weight loss, fucking fantastic, mate.
Mate, I'm chuffed.
You know? Like mine was good, because my saying is if it's down, it's good.
Yep.
Right? So I lost 1.5 or 1.4 pounds, which is actually still more than I put in my app to lose.
Yeah.
Because I lose it, you can say, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
lose this. So it's actually more than that anyway. So it's still good.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not the salt. The salt weight is gone.
Yeah.
So I now got to get used to just normal body fat losing.
I'm still thinking that mine is probably just still salt. Because there was a lot of salt, I imagine, yeah.
I have a lot of salt.
So I think this next week will be really telling. And telling of whether or not I can keep going with what I'm doing.
Are you worried, right? Because, I don't know if you want this on the pod, but I know you've got bad stretch marks already, haven't you?
Oh, mate. Well, to be fair...
Are you worried about adding to said stretch marks?
What, by losing weight?
By rapid loss?
I don't think I've ever had... Well, I've never been this
You've
big,
never
so I don't know.
experienced it, have you?
I assume not. I think because, they were, really bad on my arms here. And, they were fucking bad on, my belly, right? But as of now, I think it's because I just grew so fast. Because I said, last year, I was just eating to not die.
Yeah.
I was eating so I didn't top myself, basically, right? And it's happened so fast. That's why the stretch marks came, because they were, red and, angry.
Well, man, you're, rapid weight gain. Bit mental, isn't it? Really, when you think about it.
Especially because I was looking through old stuff, right?
Yeah, you're looking for old videos and that.
Yeah. And it's just I think of March of last year.
Yeah.
I was 94 kilos. So I got 40 fucking kilos in 9 months. That's not okay.
No. But the thing is, it's as I said, it's like lockdown proper fucked you up because like it's not only are you like in a mental space where you're like, I just fucking eating what the hell I like.
Yeah.
You're also in the place that I can't even go for a walk.
Yeah, true. I
Like,
mean,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
that definitely didn't
So
help.
it's like you're just piling it on and just not burning any of it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
I think it exacerbated.
It's like now you've got to watch. You can probably tell by the amount of calories you burn in a day when you don't go in.
Yeah.
Like me, if I go into work in a week, like by like 2:00, my watch is telling me, "Oh, you've hit your fucking move goal of like 800 calories." But if I don't go in, then I won't hit my move goal in the day because there's no burn.
Are you watching your? Are you wearing your watch now more?
I'm in like a hybrid state of where I wear it when I leave this house.
Yeah.
If I don't leave the house, then I don't see any point because I never reach any of the goals on there.
Surprisingly, you might, depending on how often you play. Because this will be the first time we talk about it.
Yeah.
We play darts.
We do play darts.
We brought it. You started a month before I did, a month or a bit.
Not even that much, like
3 weeks. Yeah. Okay. But you get a surprising amount of steps in. I didn't go out for the entire
back
day.
and forth from the board.
And it's just like going like for a solid few hours on darts.
Yeah.
You maybe walk. I think I walked like 3K.
Yeah.
Like not kilometers, but 1,000 steps.
Well, you think like every time you throw 3 darts, every 3 darts, because the board is 8 feet away from you. So you're walking 8 feet.
Yeah.
There are 8 feet, so 16 feet. You know, which average step probably like 3 or 4 steps, isn't it? Probably about 8 feet. You know, probably about 3 for me because I'm fucking giant.
Yeah. I think it's like 4. Yeah, 4 for me.
Yeah. So like 8 steps every time, and you probably throw like 9 darts a minute.
Yeah.
Don't you? You know, and then if you're sat there practicing for 2 hours, and that's a lot of steps walking back and forth.
Exactly.
You know. But yeah, we are playing darts. We're both enjoying darts. Did you bring your darts?
I brought my darts.
Yeah, because we're having a game of darts after because I'm the current champion.
Current champion. I was the first champion, so what did you do?
He got battered last time. But yeah, so we're both enjoying darts. It's good stuff. We might even do a video or something like on the podcast eventually.
Yeah.
You know, a fat man adventure.
Yeah.
Of going to join a tournament or something.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And see how we do
it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you should be really, really happy with your weight loss, and I should be really happy with my weight loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I think we've been good, and hopefully, viewers/watchers, you've been doing well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
we want to know.
We've got a few messages.
If you're watching, just like either put it in a Facebook group or on a comment on the video, and just be like, "Yeah, I did this well."
Yeah,
you know, because everyone should be encouraging everyone, right? You know, ain't no bastards in the group other than me, the bastard. But yeah, so I think we've been alright. If for viewers, actually, I wonder if I do this, they'll be able to see. Oh, right. So. Yeah, so Zack, you're now sitting on 3% of your total body weight is gone, and you're 8.55% for your goal, so nearly 10.
My goal is, maybe it's unrealistic, but my goal is to be 10% by the next time we do the podcast.
So another 1.45,
yeah.
Oh, that's doable for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially at the pace you're doing it. If you did that again, you'd be over 10. You'd be on like 11. Because I think the last time I'd have to check, but I think you're on like 6 something. So I think you'll be 8. I think you'll be 8. And obviously I'm 2.03%, so just 2% of my body weight, and 7.82% through thing. So you actually overtook me now, or both. You know, so in the Zack versus Jay unofficial tournament, doing pretty well, mate.
I know, right? It's good.
It's pretty savage.
To be fair, once again, we just have to program ourselves to be happy. I think everyone needs to program themselves to be happy with down, yeah. Down or even maintenance. A maintaining.
Because you ain't getting no fatter.
You ain't got no fatter, and you've got progress. Just imagine like you're running and you took a moment to breathe. Yeah. I think that's the best way to think about it.
Exactly.
If you do maintain.
Yeah.
But hopefully you don't maintain for a little while. Let's just just say.
But yeah, I think it's right because I've got things in the bank. One thing is good because I'm like, oh man, lost 1.4.
Yeah.
1.4 pounds, and I'm like, yeah, that's good because I said it because even Ruth was slightly worse. She went, "Are you all right with that?"
Yeah.
Like thinking I'm gonna like implode. Thinking I'm gonna like implode. And I'm like, mate, that's fine because she did really well again. She lost like 2.8 or something. So I was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. And I'm like, because what I've got in the bank, I'm not fasting at all. I'm still eating every day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's good.
And I was like, as soon as I step on those scales one day and it's either a maintenance or like a really small loss, like 0.2 pounds or something like that, I know I got that ammo in my chamber. Right, Tuesday, I'm fasting 1 day a week now. You know, and then when that happens again, I go, right, I've still got the 2 day a week fast that I know I can do.
That's a really good way of doing it.
You know what I mean?
To have like basically parachutes that you can just rip cord, And
then so I'm because I got to, I lost 4.5 stone.
Yeah.
Doing the
5-2.
The 5-2. So I've still got all that in my chamber waiting. And at the moment, I'm just kind of chilling because the thing is, because I've changed completely changed what's in my fridge and what's in my freezer. I'm at that stage where some days I've got like 200, 300 calories left, and I'm like, I just can't eat them, because I'm so stuck. I'm like, I've ate enough. It's just that the food I eat is much lower calories than it was before.
Plus, I think I don't know about you, but for me, at the beginning right now, like if I'm like, especially if it's like the night before the weigh day, I'm like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
That extra 500, I don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm just like, nah, I'm okay. I'll just go to bed. Like,
exactly.
Like yesterday, I think I was like 400 calories under my daily allowance.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm just gonna go to bed. You know, well, I don't need to eat those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
bed is a good tool in the tool belt.
Yeah,
just go to bed.
It's good stuff. It's good. Being unconscious is great for dieting.
Yeah.
So that's our diet update. Now we move on to the world-renowned game.
Oh God.
So, in this game that we call Show Zack Something Out of Context, well, basically, I show Zack something that I think he knows absolutely nothing about. Because, Zack, you don't really watch the news or anything, do you?
Not really.
He's a bit uncultured, really.
I have like specialist news. Like I'll watch or I'll read like a feed about technology news and that kind of thing, you know? But like, I don't give a shit about other
stuff. Don't give a fucking shit about this, right? So, I can't remember what this... Oh, yeah. So, Australia, our council are banning cats just roaming.
What the fuck?
You know, because I thought this would be interesting, because Zach's a cat person, I'm a dog person.
Whoa. Back the fuck up there.
Right, so Zach, in the last 5 years, has bought 2 new pets. What species are said pets, Zach? Both cats.
I bought 3. I bought 3. 2 hamsters and a cat. Anyway,
neither of which are a dog. Just putting that.
But I have a dog.
Yeah, get another one.
I can't.
Why?
Where I'm living, they won't allow that situation.
He's a cat person, right?
I'm not, but carry on.
He's a cat person, right? So I thought this would be quite interesting because I just think it's baffling. Because apparently in the 1970s they banned dogs from roaming. Apparently
in the 1970s, dogs would roam our streets, and I expect roaming cats will also become a thing of the past. The councillor behind the plan says the councillor's a bit dumb. Sorry, that's mean. But
so it's about protecting other wildlife, apparently. Because you've all had it. Like, I've had cats in the past. You always have it where occasionally you just be sat there and your cat just shows up in the doorway and you look over and he's got something in his mouth. And you know that thing used to be living.
Yeah, but like, I get you, right? But at the same time, they're natural
predators.
It's natural predation, right?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't remove lions from the wild just because they killed deer or something.
Yeah, but lions are domesticated animals.
Yeah, I know, but still, the cat... Oh, I don't know, that seems... Can you imagine, like, turning your cat from an outside cat to an on-the-lead cat?
It'd be crazy. Or a completely indoor cat.
Yeah. Because I think your cats would just kill you.
I'm not being funny, because I've seen occasionally people walking their cats, right?
Yeah.
And I think it looks stupid as fuck. Because cats are just not trainable on a lead. Because cats aren't really trainable anyway.
Not,
you know?
Yeah.
You can't go, sit. Fetch with a cat. Like, the most you could do with a cat is stop it shitting in your house.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And So people are there walking their cats and they're like kind of just dragging them along because the cat. If you ever put something on a cat that it doesn't like,
Yeah.
it's not like the cat
It's
will
not
just freak out.
It's not just that you accept it and be like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess.
It's like when I was like a kid, I used to know this like real evil piece of shit. This kid, and he used to love putting tape on cats' heads
Right.
to just watch them freak out because they always think that they can just like duck away from it, don't they?
Yeah.
Like cats,
yeah.
if you put anything on a cat's head, it thinks it can just like duck away. So it does that thing where it just kind of just.
I've
moves
seen
funny
funny ones online of like someone like tossing
cheese,
cheese,
and ham, yeah,
It's like,
yeah. So like that kind of stuff. So especially say you got a cat, like when my parents used to when we used to have cats, we didn't used to have collars,
right.
so they'd all be chips. You get them
Chipped, yeah,
chips,
yeah.
and they don't need a collar then. And if other people are like that, which I imagine they are, imagine the first time you try and put a collar on your 8-year-old cat who's gone 8 years without having a collar on.
It's just not gonna work. It just won't work. Like I don't know.
I saw this and I was just like, that is fucking mental. That is. I was like, I just can't wait for a policeman to just be like, hey, we've got a wayward cat over there. We need to catch it and find the criminal to let it out. You know?
They just do the chip. Oh my god! I think it's just a way for the government to make money because, like, if they're chipped, they're just gonna scan the chip and be like,
£100 fine.
"Oh yeah, exactly."
Yeah.
Man, that's messed up.
£100 fine, and it just like or dollars. They use Australian dollars, didn't they?
AUD.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny. Have you heard? I'm guessing you never.
I
heard
haven't.
of this.
No, I don't think. There's no way they can enforce that though. Because like, just imagine a bunch of bobbies chasing after cats. Just that's a good use of taxpayer money.
Yeah, just ringing like you've just been stabbed. You're like, someone's just stabbed me. Please come help me. And they're like, sorry, they're going to be about an hour. They're chasing some tabbies down the road. They're out causing mayhem. You know what
I don't
mean?
even think they'd be able to catch. Have you ever tried to catch a stray
catch a
cat?
that
Are you
doesn't wanna be
joking?
caught. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. Even your own cat. When
Yeah.
you try. If your cat doesn't want to be caught by you,
Yeah.
you got no chance.
And like, even if they do want to be,
Especially out in the like. Usually, you can kind of like say you're in your own house. You can kind of like corner them in a room, and then you can get them if you need to grab them for something.
Yeah.
Like maybe like, I don't know, for some reason, but outside, just in the wide area, you ain't never catching that cat.
and like, depending on the cat, especially if you're a stranger, even if you got to them to pick them up,
Scratch you up, man.
you're gonna be messed up.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like a bunch of really leather bound like cops just.
You can just see there's a tabby and they're just all in SWAT gear, just like with their shields, and they're like, "Don't let it scratch you, boys. We need to get this criminal."
That's good.
You know?
Does it say what if there's gonna be like fines or anything?
Yeah, let's find out. So while we are prohibiting areas are natural bushlands, cats are still entering. They're trying to make it all about urban cats kill 30 times more wildlife than adult cats out in the bush. In the bush. You
But
can tell
like-
it's Australia, can't you?
In the bush,
Out
yeah.
bush, mate. There are too good to keep your cat. Yeah, so what they want to do really is so you walk them, but they also try and enforce really. It looks like they're trying to encourage house cats.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna have cats, make them house cats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing is, because I'm obviously an arachnophobe. If this would be the only reason I'd buy a cat is if for some reason we moved to Australia because I'd like to keep the fucking spiders out of this fucking house, mate.
I don't think they'd
You know what I
necessarily
mean?
be that much help. My cat is like
Council will
afraid.
then decide whether to advise public feedback for at least 6 weeks. They're also saying to avoid the risk of individual cats being struck by vehicles, which I can understand.
I guess, but like
Because
my
that's the
cat-
reason why, like here in
Dogs
this house,
aren't-
they've had cats. They've had cats. Like they had a cat like live for like 24 years here.
Yeah.
You know, but all of their cats have been house cats because of that reason. Like live right next
Yeah.
to them, right?
I don't understand how
But
people
I
run
was-
over cats.
The problem is, I have this thing, right? Because I'd never, if I was to buy a pet for myself, it wouldn't ever be a cat. But like, say I'm in someone's house, like your house, and like your cat came, I'd smooth the cat and I'd be like,
Yeah.
hello cat.
Smooth.
You know,
Karen, yeah.
smooth. Smooth the cat. I'd be like, yeah, it's cool. It's cool with me, you know? So I always feel bad when I see a house cat. Because like where we used to live, they used to have a house cat behind us, and I'd always pull up in my car, and it's always in the window, and I just want it's kind of like it's a prison, and they're kind of just sat out there looking at this like wide expanse, probably looking at other cats walk past the window and just be like, what is my life, you know?
It's funny you say that, because my cat's an indoor cat, but kind of by her choice.
Yeah, doesn't like going out. Yeah.
So every time we try to, she's like, Sarah, I was like, oh, it's to the garden, it's fine, you can run in the garden. She's like, no, this is not the way.
It's not war about her. Put me back in. Put me back in, you know? Which, that's fine, but like, this cat I'm talking about, like, every single time she opened the door, it's like one of those things where she's like putting her bag on the floor, like, stay in, because that cat is like, I want to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
So, yeah, it's a weird one for me. Because, like, dogs, they don't really have this, like, they want to go out for a walk.
Yeah.
But not by themselves. So, like, can you take me out for a walk? Because I want to be with you.
In the 1970s, dogs were just about, I can't imagine that.
Yeah, they also have stray dogs.
That's
like, because we live in England, we live in the West. Like, it's not a thing, is it? Like, if you were to walk down the street and you saw a dog, you'd either think, its owner's like round the corner that I can't see, or it's got out.
In fairness, in Spain, a lot of strays.
There's loads of them.
Loads.
I remember when we went to Spain or Mallorca, one of them, and we went up a mountain. And it was littered with fucking stray dogs up in this mountain. They were everywhere, man. And because that's what our dog is a stray.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, is a stray. And like
stray.
where we get a plug for a nice place is a place called Bath Cats and Dogs Home. If you go on their site and look at them, there's loads of they go and save them from Spain. So you have loads of Spanish strays in there, yeah.
That's weird.
Because like there people don't bother because they got so many of them. They're just like, it's a thing. We have stray dogs.
I used to not be a fan of dogs when I was a kid.
What a bastard.
No, because where I lived, it wasn't necessarily the nicest area.
Told you it's a cat person.
I love dogs. But it wasn't necessarily the nicest area. So I'd like walk home from school, which is like a 45-minute walk, right?
Yeah.
And there's like tons of cul-de-sacs and boroughs, right? And there would always be like this pack of dogs along this one street. And like depending on what time I would get there, I would have to run from dogs. Just imagine a little chubby me running from dogs.
In movies when you see like the bullies and they're like waiting for the kid, but in Zack it's just fucking dogs waiting for him.
I wonder if that English kid will come around.
May have to say, because people may not know, Zack used to live in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
so
a
that's
child.
what he's talking about on the mean streets.
On the mean
of
streets
Espanol.
Espanol.
Yeah.
I lived in some shit areas.
España?
España.
Yeah, España.
Because
Espanol's the language, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is Suzuki for this week.
Suzuki?
For this week. I thought it was funny. Funny.
It's
I've opened it twice for some reason. I don't know why.
Happen.
So now we are on to our third segment, people.
You can't handle the truth.
We are on to TRU FAX. Now, Zack, I've got to ask again.
I don't know.
Do you understand the brief?
I don't know.
Because last week you didn't understand the brief at all, did you?
I think I do. I don't know. I honestly, because I did this one.
Yeah.
Like, I think because we add throughout the week. If we find something interesting, we'll put it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And not so. Although, oftentimes we have a problem because we're just like, "Yo, have you heard about this? Like, why didn't you say that for the podcast?"
I guess that's the problem with two best mates doing a general talking podcast.
Yeah.
That talk every day anyway.
Yeah, and I think you have to because like sometimes I've said it, even though like I could save this for the podcast, but I kind of want to talk about it now, which is kind of the thing you want to say for the podcast. But anyway, I added this like I think Tuesday of this week, and I've forgotten what it is.
Right. What we're gonna do, because we did mine first last time,
so
we'll do yours first this time, right?
What?
So obviously I haven't seen what this is. It's a Reddit post because Google's 1.5 billion research center to solve death.
So Google have allocated $1.5 billion in research to solve death. The problem of death.
So trying to basically $1.5 billion to try and I guess solve avoid.
It's aging and death. So reversing aging / stopping aging as well.
So $1.5 billion to try and like create a vampire.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. Are they taking test subjects? Fucking so
Are they taking staff? Imagine your boss on your ass because you haven't solved death yet. That's not going to happen.
Are people still aging, Jay? Yes. this is going on your fucking appraisal, my friend. You know?
Yet to solve death.
Yeah. That's mental.
It's crazy, right?
It brings me... That is crazy. It reminds me of, like in America, they have it's either the CIA or the FBI. They have £150 million, $50 million every year goes to a unit which job is to investigate UFOs.
Yeah, what's that called? I remember it has a name.
It's like another acronym. It's like a section, but it's like 150 million, and apparently it's only about 8 people, and that's their job. Imagine how cool that job is.
Oh my god!
You know, like basically, your job is to be like a conspiracy theorist. To be like, shit, is this real? Or
like probably an overly critical.
Well, it reminds me of that, but that's even more like 1.5 billion. But it's kind of like we were talking about overpopulation last time, wasn't it? It's like we got a problem, man.
That's a bit dangerous. Yeah,
it's a bit dangerous because the thing is, if they solve it, it's gonna be so fucking expensive, isn't it? You'd be like, how much is life worth?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? It's like it's a scary thing to. I guess it's kind of noble if we could survive.
Imagine they're like, you've heard of G Suite Enterprise, but this is G Suite Immunity. And for the measly price of £10,000 a year, you can never die.
It's funny though, because I think let's say they did it right, and they have an inoculation that can solve death.
Yeah.
I think you'd have a really interesting spread of people who really wouldn't want to get it.
Yeah.
So you'd have people on the far side being like, I ain't having Google implanting microchips in my body. No way I'm going to survive forever. And then you get like the really, I guess, wise people who'd be like, no human should live forever. Yeah. Like a really interesting spread for completely different reasons. I think that's
basically doing the same thing, but they're like, not for that reason.
Yeah.
That's
just
stupid.
like
that's stupid sauce. Like, yeah, it's kind of.
I think what would come out of it, because we understand how aging works.
Yeah.
So it's like the shortening of telomeres every time new DNA or cells are made, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you have the original photocopy, and then as your DNA is made, it's mitosis, right? And it basically just, I think, I might be butchering this completely, but I'm pretty sure, right? And each time you make the copy, you lose a little something.
Yeah.
So you have the shortening of telomeres.
Yeah.
And that's basically what aging happens, right? What aging happens.
That's
basically what aging happens. So I'm guessing what they probably do is shorten the amount of time that it would take for that to degrade.
Yeah.
And I think, only rich people would live for like 500 years.
Imagine it was like a pill, or a chip, like we were talking about, like with the cats. Imagine they put a chip in you, and it just freezes you, like where you are, wherever you are when you put it, it just freezes your body in that state. But it's like there's loads of things. Like,
I don't think
there's loads of things because obviously, like cell death, like fucking skin cells and shit, they die, and like more and more layers are used to your skin, like kind of thing. So all that would stop because it would have to. So it also brings in the fact, like, how would it heal? Yeah. Like, say it free, like obviously £1.5 billion is probably about right to research all these different things, because if you're going to make it work, then there loads of shit comes into it.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, so I think that's the only way you can improve the body's ability to not age.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to freeze them.
Yeah.
And let's say even if you could, I don't think I would take it.
No.
Like imagine like
you're coming on to like the paranormal then, rather than the rather than the fucking, because like trying to avoid like aging and just cell death and cell decay is like, you just have, the only way you'd be able to do it is like massively just slowing it.
Yeah.
But then
I'd be happy with that though. Be 20 for like 60 years. I'm happy with that.
Oh
shit.
You say that, but how long are you then 90?
Mate, it's time to get rid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, can you turn it off? Be like, that's what I mean. If they had like a chip, like say you just put it in and it frees you or slows you, and then all of your peeps die, and you're like, I have fucking had enough of this world. Could you take it out and just instantly die?
Imagine if it was a pill and that you miss a day, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Fuck, I could have died today. Like,
you're about a year older. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I've missed my fucking pills. You know what I mean? Jesus. But yeah, that's wild. That is a good true facts.
Hey.
Yeah.
I got it.
I can understand wanting to know how, but it's dangerous, man. Figuring out immortality, in this sense, like the fountain of the youth or whatever.
Yeah. But if we did stuff like go to Mars and populate Mars, and then go further afield and populate vast space stations and stuff, I reckon it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But then also, right, Jeff Bezos, I saw an interview with him the other day,
right,
or like a short interview,
yeah.
and he was like, I have so much wealth, there's only really one thing I could do to really make use of it, and that's space travel. I'm like, you could pay your workers what they're worth. Or what are you doing?
You could invest heavily in pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, you could fix Africa.
Yeah, you could fix Africa. Yeah. There's many things you could do, Jeff, other than shooting yourself into space.
Well, Africa's bad. I just mean it's like poverty because of basically the Western world. Yeah, exactly.
Africa. Yeah. Yeah, it's mental. I just what the fuck? Like on a very even boring level, like the changes that will have to happen to like IDs. So like you get like an ID and it will say age, and then it will say body age. You know what I mean? You'd be age 184, body age 21.
That's so weird. And there'd be definitely people that didn't do it. So it'd be weird if like you and your spouse, or like you and your brother, right, or best friend even, right, and they're just like, I'm taking it, but you're not taking it.
Yeah.
Please take it.
Yeah. Like you'll be sat there going to the pub, and people will be like, "Oh, look at that! Isn't that nice? That guy going out to the pub with his granddad." And you're like, "That's my best mate. Like, he just didn't take a pill." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, "I'm fucking 94, but so is he, but he's fucked."
Messed up in it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's good true facts, mate. I like that one.
Nice.
I like that one. So now we move on to mine, which I've also forgotten. So what the hell was it?
Fresh.
Yeah. What the hell was my true facts? Oh yeah. Ha!
Oh yeah, I've known this for years. Yeah.
Oh.
Like Zack Williams.
All they find it. All blue-eyed people are incestuous.
I mean.
What colour is your girlfriend's eyes, mate?
I have green eyes. Thank you very much. I have greeny blue. Yeah, but it's weird, isn't it? But then I guess. If you think about it, let's say if you're biblical, we're all incestuous because it's just two guys,
you're talking to
two
a person
people
that isn't. Well, I'm biblical, but in a different sense. But yeah, I just thought this was really interesting because obviously, like, I know loads of blue-eyed people, and the most interesting thing about it is I didn't realise that blue eyes were just European.
Yeah,
like I didn't realise that because that's how they were able to zone in on it that much. So all of you have the same gene from one single person. I
imagine in like, let's say 500, 600 years, I don't think there'll be any blue-eyed people.
Oh, there will.
No, because think about it, because brown eyes are the dominant gene, right? And as time goes on, more and more people will.
The thing is, there's latent
brown-eyed people.
There's like fucking American TV, you can see it like Jerry Springer and shit when they have like a kid and it's got blue eyes.
Yeah,
it's just like skipped some generations and
it's
their
true.
Child. Like,
and also, there could be other genetic mutations, like someone might be born tomorrow with like red eyes or something.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine?
That'd be fucking sick.
But can you imagine that happened? But like 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, that baby's dead. Maybe that's
fucking demon.
That's demon. The only reason we don't have red eyes is because people don't understand.
Just fucking murked them off. They're just like, fuck this. They're like, mate, fucking Antichrist.
Fucking eating the babies.
Yeah. But I just thought it was interesting.
Did
you know about it?
It is interesting though.
See, this is the risk of true facts.
Mate, you got to go more niche. You know what I mean?
This is.
Funnily enough, I did see it pop up in like my Reddit feed the other day. This is Zack FAX.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so I was like,
yeah, all right. So let's move on to what is the next one? My emotions. My emotions. So this is a Zack segment.
I mean, you can add to it if you want.
No.
I mean, I always have to bring two things you feel about stuff. You know what I mean?
Two different things this time.
Yeah, completely different. They were last time, weren't they?
No, they were just two.
Videos so these are. No, my last one was two different things, I think.
It was two openings to movies.
No, that was Nostalgia Corner.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just go for a maybe.
Let's
go A. It's YouTube. How to pronounce etiquette.
Okay.
Right, I'll have to turn it up.
said as etiquette. This is why
Etiquette.
should be said as etiquette. Emphasis on the first syllable. Etiquette in American English.
Croissant.
Croissant.
It's mainly just because I didn't want to put just words down, and it's the topic I want to discuss.
Right. You want to
My
discuss
my
etiquette?
emotions, yeah. Because I think you have interesting perspectives to take on this. I think I will as well.
Yeah.
So, outside of a work context, because that's completely different, right?
Yeah.
Because you
Yep,
need
yep,
to
yep.
/ it's imperative that you do at certain times, right?
Yep.
But let's say we're about to talk about text etiquette.
Text.
Etiquette.
Etiquette.
So basically, right?
Yeah.
If I'm chatting with someone, right, and they don't respond for like a day or something, right?
Bastard.
Or like an entire, like, say it's like 8 p.m. or something, I text someone something, right? And they don't respond until the next day. I'm like, that's fine. I guess they're either busy or they're sleeping,
Bruh.
right? Well, what's wrong with that, right?
Nah.
But like, and
Nah.
also, right, let's say it's 11 p.m., right, and I'm chatting to someone, right?
Yeah.
And they don't respond to the next day or even the day after, right? I'll be like, oh, I guess they're sleeping and busy.
Bruh.
What do you mean, bro?
Nah.
Am I the only one that thinks? I think
Yeah.
my family do this.
I'm very different. I'm like, I get proper.
I don't get it.
Yes.
Because you will say, because if we text, right, you'll be like, oh, BRB, just driving. I'm like, that's fine. I mean, you could have just responded after you finished driving.
Nah.
I've been fine,
So
right?
I need you to know. If you message me and I don't reply, that's why.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Quote, instant messaging. Quote.
Instant, because it can be instant.
No. Because it should be. You know? And like, I can't stand it, mate. Like, if I... So, I don't mind if you're busy,
Yeah.
right? So I message you, and I'm like, yo, and tell you about something.
Yeah.
And you message me and go, oh, mate, busy as fuck right now. Can't message. Fine.
Who
Right?
cares? No, but
Right?
it's obvious that I'm busy.
But if I message you, and then you don't reply for a whole day, and then you message me the next day like, oh, sorry, I was busy. I'm like, too busy to write a message that will probably take you 5 seconds to
Yeah,
write.
but-
Bull motherfucking shit.
Okay, if I
Bullshit.
died or was hospitalized, you'd know within a day anyway, right?
No.
And all the people that I know would know within a day, right? So obviously, I'm probably not dead. You can rule that one out, right? And secondly, if I'm busy, if you don't respond to me for 6 hours, right? I'll be like, he's busy, mate. That's fine, because I know you're busy. You have to tell me that you're busy. I can glean that information
No.
myself.
No.
And like BRB, don't get it. Doesn't make any sense to me. Why the fuck would you say that?
Burp.
Unless you're like, oh, we're in like the middle of a work meeting, or we have to do something imperatively, and we organized to get to a place at a specific time, right? I get that, right? And also, like, if it's 11 p.m., right? You don't need to say goodnight. I know you do, but you don't need to say it.
I'd say every night, man.
Yeah, but I know, I get it,
No, man.
and that's nice for you. And I'll reciprocate.
It might be
that, right?
different because, like, right. So, for people out there, because they might have different levels of what they consider best friends, all that kind of
Sure.
stuff. Right? So, me and Zack, we're best boys, right?
Yeah.
So we literally, some days we can message each other from like the moment of awakeness to the moment we go to bed, just like
Yeah.
a consistent raft of garbage, right?
Yeah.
And basically, it's not like deep shit. It's like, mate, it just had a crack and shit.
Just cracking shit.
You know,
Yeah.
really smells.
Yeah.
That kind
Or
of
like,
deal.
man, fucking pigeons are weird.
Yeah,
Anything,
look,
right?
just endless raft of bollocks,
Yeah.
right? So imagine you're just like, yeah, endless raft, and then just nothing. Just nothing. I'm
you're
just like,
busy.
nah, because you know that I message. If I've got my phone and I see a message, I'll message right back. You know, that's how I am, and that's what I think everyone should be. Be more like me. Be more like me, people.
Because my
Especially with messaging, mate. Emails different.
yeah, I
A
get.
fucking
of
instant
course.
message, a text message, bro.
And obviously, in a work capacity, you can't just be like,
And we're
"Where the
living in-
fuck have you been for the
Yeah.
past 8 hours?"
And we're living in a world where we can just say, hey, the SIRI. I'm not saying it because our phones and our watches will just go crazy.
Yeah, sure.
You can just say, hey, and it will come out and you go, text Zack and tell him, I'm busy, 2 secs, brother. Or, I'm busy, Jay, 2
But-
secs.
What I'm saying is,
You know what I mean?
you don't need to.
Yes.
And like most of my conversations with literally anyone, right?
Yeah.
I've had to I beat it out of a few people, to be fair.
Yeah.
And just like, hey, you say BRB, you don't need to. That's fine. I realise that you're probably busy.
No.
And like my siblings, right? I think we have it down to like a science of just like,
All ignorant.
I'll text my brother, right? What are you doing this evening, right? And he won't respond until like the next day, midday. And I'll be like, that's fine.
Mate.
Evidently you were doing something interesting, or you fell asleep.
Mate, if I message someone and say, "Oh, what are you doing this evening?" and they didn't message me, I take it as like a personal insult
Why?
and just not message you again.
Why?
You know, just like, that's just rude.
I
Unless they come back to me and were like, I was in a car accident, then fuck them, man.
But to be
'Cause,
fair-
like, it's an instant message. It takes 2 seconds to text someone. One thing as well, right? I got a gripe.
Sure.
Not with you. Not with
Okay.
you, just gripe in general.
Okay.
Right? You know read receipts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
big receipts. Yeah.
So, on iPhone, they're on as standard, yeah? Right? For iMessage. Some people I text, they've actively turned them off. So, you only turn them off if you don't want people to know that you read a message. And that pisses me right off, man.
Why?
I'm like, because you literally are doing that because you're not too busy to read my message because you fucking have.
Yeah, but
You're just-
sometimes
You just don't feel
sometimes
the need to message me back. But you're also not brave enough to let me know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you've read it and say, because then you can just lie and go, "Oh, sorry, man, I didn't see
Yeah, but
your
I
message."
wouldn't even lie. I would just be like, yeah, sorry, busy. I got busy. If even if you were, which I don't see why you would be, right? And like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I think this one is definitely agree to disagree.
I
I think good text messaging etiquette or Facebook messaging etiquette is if you are like literally unable to touch your phone for 20 seconds, that is the only reason why you can't message someone back and say, "Busy, mate."
that to me, it's funny that you think that's etiquette, because to me that's rude. Being like, "Oh, busy. I can't receive your text."
Yeah, but I don't mean just right busy. I mean like you got enough time to go, "Hey mate, a bit busy right now, I'll text you later."
But like,
You know?
but even then, I'm like,
Because I do that too. Like I'll go, "Oh mate, fucking I'm driving home. Be
Yeah.
right back. I won't text in the next hour."
yeah, I don't care. Why would I care?
I fucking care.
Why would I care? Why would it makes no
Etiquette,
sense
bro.
to me.
It's
'Cause,
good
like,
text messaging etiquette.
especially if you're driving back from somewhere,
Yeah.
odds are you've been like, "Oh mate, I gotta go to X place." I'd be like, "Okay, so you're probably just driving back from X place." I'm like, I don't even need that, but I have that extra level of information.
Yeah.
So what's the
You're
point?
welcome.
What's the point? I mean,
And the only thing I do is expect it in return.
but why?
Okay.
I mean, I do it because it's your level of etiquette, so I guess I should match your level.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
You should
take a
raise
walk on
yourself
the
to my
wild
level.
side.
You should raise yourself to my level. Okay?
You should take a walk on a wild side. Just be like, imagine
Walk on the
imagine the
rude
feeling,
side.
right? You don't feel too good, right?
Yeah.
You go for a nap.
Yeah. Don't
Right?
do that. I'm not 12.
Okay, I do that sometimes,
Right.
right? And like, you don't need to worry about, "Oh, I didn't say I was busy. What if someone's been texting me and they're mad now?" That seems so mad to me.
Nah.
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 Well, let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, let
because
us
I
know.
think it's interesting. I think more people are like me than are like you.
I know. But, you know,
Then isn't the universal standard what it should be?
no.
Like, is pinkies out good etiquette? Should I be...
Most people voted for Hitler in Germany. I
Yeah,
don't think they were right.
Most people didn't vote for Hitler in the world.
I don't think they were right. Dude. Right? So, right. Okay. So
So yeah, let us know what you think.
let us know what you think.
And then if the majority of the people respond to us with my level,
in the Jay versus
that's what Jay
Zack
needs
poll.
to
Yeah.
attend to.
And it's never gonna happen. So next one, let's have a look. Is
I also
what is
don't
it,
know.
Zach? What is it? Is it another Reddit post? It is.
Ooh,
Oh, this is it us both.
my emotion.
This is my emotions. This is it us both. But we're lucky enough that we're not massive
Deep into it.
investors.
Yeah.
You know, like I invest Bitcoin like I bet, and that's like £2-3 bets. You know what I mean? Like some people like putting like thousands and thousands. I'm just not that brave. You know.
But like, even if you did put thousands, I mean, the more you put in, the more you feel it.
Yeah.
Because I had at peak, I had like 150.
Yeah.
Now I have 80.
Yeah. I had 100, and it had gone up.
Yeah.
To like 185, but now it's like £112 or some fucking shit.
But like, to be fair, my original investment was like 100.
Yeah.
So I had a decent windfall. I was like, I'm not gonna touch it.
He's
Think of
just
the moon.
he's shit now. He can't hold for shit.
For
Paper
shit.
hands, bro.
Mate, if we didn't, that first time we invested in ETH,
Yeah.
we'd be like thousands of even now with the crash.
Well, we were sat in my car outside of work when you first joined, investing before the massive Bitcoin rise, investing in all this stuff, and then we made like £10. We're like, mate, we gotta get out of the fuck
Get out
bro.
for the fucking willies.
I was paper handed then. I'm not now.
I'm
not
diamond
taking out
hands
anything.
now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I ain't gonna have another Ethereum situation.
Mate, I'm just sat there, just like, I'm just gonna ride the wave. I like to pretend that the stuff I got in there I can't take out.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing now. Like, if I'm having a stretched month, I'm being like, I better make sure I have enough that I don't need to dip into that.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exist.
Yeah. It doesn't exist. It's fake money.
Yeah,
you
fake
know,
money.
until it grows. But yeah, that is shit, mate. I like these people that have got loads in. Just I feel real sorry for you.
Yeah.
Like it just must be horrible. Like looking in there and just seeing that fucking massive drop. Like I think, like you said, like Ethereum's down to like £2,000 per one, isn't it?
Which was like a month ago. It was plus 3k plus.
3k. So they lost like 33% of their money if it was just all in ETH. Like Bitcoin's very much similar at the moment. Yeah, it's just fucking, it's terrible. And then you're kind of like, oh, do I move it or whatever? But you know, you've still got the same amount of Bitcoin. It's just not worth as much. You just want to ride that wave. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, especially because like no one fucking knows what's gonna happen with crypto.
No.
It's like the end of life. No one knows what's gonna happen, and it's just as contested.
Yeah. Well, there was a I should have put it in it because I didn't know you were going to say this. I haven't put something in, but there's a very, very respected like journal, like a financial like news thing.
Was it the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah, something, and they predicted that in 2039, because the thing was done in 2019.
Yeah.
The 20-year projection. Yeah, 20-year projection. That a single Bitcoin would be worth I think it was £1 million. So a single Bitcoin would be 1 million.
Thing is, I don't think people's brains work that well with incremental or like fractional pieces.
Yeah.
So like, send me 0.003 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And we'll be settled. And like, people's mind don't work like that, especially when it comes to money.
Yeah.
So I think there's gonna have to be like a branch of Bitcoin that gets like Bitcoin Cash or something.
Yeah.
That only values it at certain increments. So you'd have like 1 billion Bitcoin Cash, but it stems from Bitcoin's worth. So give me 50 Bitcoin Cash, BCH or whatever.
Yeah, because obviously it's like done in like what's called Satoshis, isn't it?
Satoshis,
which was the guy that created Bitcoin, wasn't it? And it's like difficult, like because like a guy we work with, you may be watching it. Hey, I'm talking about you, but we'll be talking about, and he uses like the terms of like the coins.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, how much safe moon you got? Now you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, how much safe moon you got? And he'll go, and instead of saying like, I got £1,000 of like say, he'll go, I got 14 trillion coins.
Satoshi.
And I'm just like, I've no fucking clue what that means, man. I'm like, put it into terms that I know. I know pounds.
He has Safe Moon, doesn't he?
Yeah.
How's he doing? Because Safe Moon.
Mate, he knows I got a bone to pick with him, man. He convinced me to put £100 in there, right? He convinced me to put £100 in my Safe Moon, and I'll tell you,
I almost did Safe Moon. Oh my god!
I'll tell you now, right now, live on the pod, how much Safe Moon. Bear in mind, I could put £130 in, £100 in. I got £35 in there. £35. You bastard. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, that was painful. I don't like looking in that wallet. That wallet doesn't exist in my head. It's a no wallet. No.
To those who know, we each have, I don't think it's an official term, but we have terms.
Yeah.
So we each have a hope coin.
Yeah, we do.
Basically, which is the coin we hope to be as big as either Ethereum or Bitcoin. Mine is Polygon.
Yeah.
And yours is Ren? Is at the moment?
It was Ren. I changed because of some side like advice I got. But as I say, I hardly even look in my Swiss board. Oh my god!
Not
I've
good.
just looked down. I've literally dropped like 100. Oh my god, that is terrible. But it is Ren. But my is Ren. One called Ren, one called Ren, and one called Ultra, which is UOS is the thing, which is a game in one.
Yeah, I might look into the game because like there's a what's the other one? It's Something Land.
Yeah, but those are my two, Ren and Ultra.
Yeah.
And I did have 20 quid's worth in each of them, and now that 20 quid's worth £4.71 and £4.21 respectively.
Now's the time, buy the dip. You know what I mean?
Which is just, oh mate, I was not looking forward to that hitting below 100. That is terrible.
This is not financial advice. Don't do what we've done or anything.
Yeah, don't do that. I gotta get off this section now because it's just. It's
making me sad.
Yeah.
No, next week we'll have like, have you seen this post where it's up 70% and we've cashed out because.
Right. So now we are on to the nostalgia corner. You didn't bring anything.
You didn't bring anything last time.
True.
It ebbs and flows, bro.
But yeah, so this is a video.
Nothing got me nostalgic this week.
And we've been talking about this already, but
I know what this is.
Corner.
Ooh. Oh, actually.
Long ago, we looked upon a foreboding sky. The memory of the star that threatened all burns eternal in our hearts. In its wake came an age of silence. Yet with each fond remembrance, we knew those encountered were not forgotten. That someday we would see them again. Perhaps it was no more than wishful thinking. But after the long calm, there are now the beginnings of a stir. The reunion at hand may bring joy, it may bring fear, but let us embrace whatever it brings. For they are coming back. At last, the promise has been made.
So that was the reveal trailer for the Final Fantasy VII remake. That was 2015.
I can't believe it was 2015.
And I have just this week been able to play it, as it's been not available on PC or any console because I don't have a PlayStation. And it's just been made available on PC, and I've just been able to play it. And obviously, as you know, and some of the viewers may know, I think Final Fantasy VII is one of my favourite game of all time. I think it's one of the best. Critic-wise, it is one of the best games ever made. But in my opinion, it's the best game ever made, right? And honestly, right, as of this moment, I am... So, a bit of backstory on it. So they've made it, but they've split the game into parts.
Yeah.
Right? And they've expanded on each part.
Each part, yeah.
Right? So, in this version of the game, you play the Midgar section of the game, which in the original game will probably take you about 4 or 5 hours to complete.
Is that the... Because I played the original upon your recommendation a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think I got... So, at the end of the dance sequence, is that where you finish Midgar?
Yeah.
Because you have to get all the dance patterns right, and then you get the ring if you get it perfect.
It's a little bit after that, yeah, a little bit after that. But Yeah, so that takes about 5 hours to complete everything in Midgar.
Yeah.
The first part, when you go to Midgar, you do go back occasionally. But what they've done, if they've made an entire game out of that section of the game, and the campaign is about 35 to 40 hours, that's what they say. But as I'm the kind of person that does every side quest that there is, it's probably take me a lot longer than that. But yeah, as of this moment, I've played like 8 hours. And honestly, it feels weird to say and come off my tongue, really. But I think, honestly, if you were to put them all together, right, once they've done it, it's probably going to take years to actually complete Final Fantasy 7.
So, Final Fantasy 7
Yeah.
was released. The
As
remake
Midgar.
is released
Yeah.
as Midgar.
Yeah.
And they haven't done any other
Not
future
yet.
ones
They've
yet.
done a
In
expansion.
7 years.
No, because it didn't release. This is the reveal. It didn't release until 2020 or 2021. The game didn't release. And they just did the intergrade version of it, which includes an expansion game with a character that isn't in the Midgar section.
Right.
So it's the first time you see her. But yeah, and their plan is to do all of them in parts until the game's complete. But honestly, I can see it all together, seen as that, once it's all done, seen as that. I think it probably could be the best game ever.
Yeah.
Because it would just contain
So much.
so much. Like I told you, like it's got the Midgar section, like the game is like 100 gigabyte.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like this much of the actual game of Final Fantasy 7.
That's going to be super fucking... Because obviously, I assume anyway, I might be wrong now. They're going to update the graphics each time. So if they use Unreal Engine 5 in one, they're going to use Unreal Engine 6 in the next. So it's going to be a really interesting case study in like sequential single game adaptation.
Yeah.
That's going to be weird.
But it's absolutely stunning. You know, and obviously it's even better on my machine than it is on like a PS4.
A PS4
it was on and a PS5 now. So it's like it is absolutely stunning game. And like being able to play a game that I played when I was like in single digit ages.
Yeah.
Again, with like obviously amazing graphics and the main thing, which I told you the other day, voice actors.
Yeah.
Because I like equate it to like when you read a book and then they bring a movie out about it. And you're like, that is not how that person sounded in my head, you know? Or whatever. And like, it's just, and because you're playing parts of the game that are new. Like, it's a complete remake. Like, you didn't do it. Like, 3 of the characters that you're with for like this whole part are in the original game feel like real side irrelevant characters. They're just people that are just there. But they're massive parts of like the story in this one.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think once it's all together, even though I think Final Fantasy VII is like my favourite game ever, and I think it's probably the best game ever made, still in my head, it'll be better than that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So it doesn't strip anything back, it only adds.
No, it only adds.
That's good.
It only adds to it, and it's like, and like it's weird because obviously, I think you can play it now in turn-based, but I didn't want to. I wanted to play it how the game was intended to play. So I'm playing it in like the action combat way of playing, and it's so fun. Like it feels just awesome because like Cloud's always been great to play. He's a fucking stupidly massive sized Buster Sword. Like you know what I mean. He's always a fun character and a great silhouette from a animation kind of point of view. So like when the nostalgia part of when I first watched this reveal was actually when I watched E3, and I was just so out of the Final Fantasy space that I had no idea what was happening when they were showing it, and then like the music started kicking in, I was like, that's familiar. And then obviously when I saw Garrett's gun, which is the first person that walks past, I was like, oh my fucking god. I was like so excited. I was just like, oh, this is amazing. And then what it brings me is like, I think one, it was safe to start with this one because they knew it would be really popular, and it's like, but they had to get it right, so it's a safe and risky at the same time.
Yeah.
They had to get it right, but also the thought of them doing it, because they've already said that the plan is to do them all.
Yeah.
You know, or past this one anyway. Like the thought of being able to play 9 again as well, which is probably like my 3rd favorite game of all time. But like remade like this, which by then will be even better.
This is gonna take like decades of work.
Yeah.
That's mad.
You know, because it's like, it's amazing, and like they've got a brand new Final Fantasy coming out soon, like a whole new number.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, because Yoshi P is making it.
Really?
So you can guarantee your damn ass is going to be fucking
That's cool.
incredible.
That's very cool.
You know what I mean?
Yoshi P, for those who don't know, makes Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, game director for Final Fantasy 14.
Which is like the MMO version of
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
But yeah, I was just playing it at the moment. I'm just like everything. I'm just like, oh, this is so good, because it's bringing back memories everywhere I go. You know, and like, because I know all the spaces, and it's weird seeing them from like a different angle.
Yeah.
Because I said to you, it's mostly like, basically the original Final Fantasy 7 is like 2.5D.
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
Cloud is 2D, but he's walking around in like
In 3D space.
in 2D space. So he's 3D,
Yes.
and then he walks around on like a digitally already created like just
I
backdrop.
thought it was kind of like a 3D space.
It is in a
Because
weird
it's
way.
like up, down, left, right, rather than just
Yeah,
side
it
scrolling.
is, but you'd have to play. It's just weird. It's weird.
It's a weird.
not
It's,
fully
it's
3D.
kind of top down, but it's not. Yeah.
But being able to like run around in it in like 3D and like interact with people that you can't normally interact with, and yeah, it's just great, and I've loved every fucking minute of it so far, except for I had a little bit of buggy problem because the PC port's not great.
Yeah.
But I seem to have sorted that out now,
That's
so
good.
I can just enjoy the game. And anyone that hasn't played it, who may have been like me, where I didn't have the console to play it, I'd suggest getting it on PC because it is fucking quality and it is really well made. And it like if you don't look at the face of like Cloud, because Cloud's like a hyper stylized kind of look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like the skin looks really real, like really real. Like it's got pigmentation,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
got like veins, like freckles and stuff on like people. It's just really, really good. And like the lighting, like the bit that gets me is the lighting's really, really well done on there. And it was just, I was just, oh, this is amazing.
I mean, I'm excited to play it mainly because I played the first like 5 hours of 7,
Yeah,
which obviously I don't have the nostalgia for it.
yeah.
So
So you're just playing a really old game.
Yeah, just playing a really fucking old game. Which it wasn't bad. It was good for what it was, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that alienated me a little bit. And I fucking
You
hate turn-based.
don't you? Yeah.
Fucking hate it. I had to go through I don't know how many turn-based events
Yeah.
to get like 5 or 6 hours until you get
Yeah.
past Midgar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. I suggest going home when you do today and downloading it because it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my nostalgia corner.
Are you excited for people to be like, oh, fucking Cloud and I don't know, the Gunners guy's called
Yeah, Barrett.
Barrett, right? But are you going to be elitist about it? Are you be like, Psh, well,
I'm going to struggle.
in the
I struggle because remember, because the thing is right as well, because it's a Japanese-made game, right? How do I say this?
it's a JRPG.
Yeah, like they always make female characters like really good looking.
Right.
You know what I
sure.
mean? It's like every single female character is like stunning on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is just going to be a whole new breed. There is going to be a whole new breed of people like wanting to like make sweet, sweet love to the female characters on there, and probably the male ones as well from another person's perspective.
Yeah.
You know, because they do look great. And I sent you a screenshot of Tifa, who already has loads of like creepy fans in that way, and now it's going to be even more extreme.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and like, yeah, it's just going to bring a whole new raft of fandom.
That goes in interestingly into a different topic that I did want to discuss
Yeah,
about the Uncanny Valley,
yeah,
which is, for anyone who doesn't know, basically the fact that we can't replicate humans yet, especially the faces,
yeah,
because we just see it as a tiny bit off, and that tiny bit is massive for us.
yeah,
So stylized things are like really good because they're like, oh, that's a person I can emote, I can relate to that.
yeah,
But your brain adjusts within the first 10 minutes of like watching something stylized of like, this is how it is.
yeah,
I can now relate to that, right? Unreal Engine 6
yeah.
and the Matrix demo. People still not there yet. We're still not there yet.
No,
I think another decade or so, maybe, right?
yeah,
But scenery, I think we might be there very soon, if not already.
it does look insane.
Like some of
Yeah,
it, like
yeah.
if you did first person and you took a screenshot of a place, you'd be like, I wonder where that is. You wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
that's a cool video game texture or something.
Well, I saw an interesting, funny side bit on this. I saw an article where this town in America, they have like a local newspaper, and they have like a section of newspaper every week for submissions from the readers to show pictures of places you visited,
Yeah.
right? But real places. And someone had won it like 4 months in a row, but they had been sending like screenshots of games. And like the editor had just assumed that he just hadn't visited the places, so they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is like Raccoon City or something like that." For, like, and
Resident Evil,
they're like, "Oh, I just haven't visited." And put it in the thing, and they did it for like 4 straight months. Like they did like scenery from like where the nomads live in fucking Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah,
and they just like it was just funny as hell.
that's very. Say,
But they're
like
just so real. Some of them.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
landscapes are just like another game I played recently, God of War. Like when you're in the forest, fucking hell, it just looks amazing.
And like
light
water as
shafts
well.
And water, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
just-
like even in like Disney films, like me and my girlfriend watched Encanto,
Yeah.
right, which is like one of the new Disney films, right?
Yeah.
Every shot in that, the scenery, masterful. I mean, the
Yeah.
character design is cool too, but it's
Yeah.
acquired taste.
It's-
Like some
yeah.
people doesn't like the character design of like Disney films.
Yeah.
Um,
Big eyes, little noses.
yeah, big eyes, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's stunning, absolutely stunning. And
Yeah.
like some bits, you're like, I pause it when no one's on the screen. That's a desert.
Yeah.
That's a real desert. Yeah.
I'm with you. I think we are years away from proper realistic faces, and I think, and it's not just faces with Uncanny Valley. It's just everything about movement.
Yeah.
It's like your unconscious mind sits there and goes, "That is not how that person of that weight would walk."
Yeah.
You know?
And also like minute details of stuff. Like I was thinking about this when.
And one thing that throws me off as well with people, and it's really hard, is because obviously in games they avoid it, but it's a game, right? Floors aren't even.
Yeah.
Floors are just not. Go walk a path for 100 meters, and you will realise that the floor is not even.
Yeah, especially in the UK.
But
yeah,
you go on a game, that pavement is
Yeah.
flat.
Exactly.
Flat.
And there's, I
You
think,
know?
I think the small details are the things that I think we're gonna have to get right next when it comes to like backgrounds and scenery, because like you'll see in like GTA 5 or something, right?
Yeah.
All the bollards, they're meant to look like really good, like with
Yeah.
scuffs on them, but there's no like tiny little gaps. Like if you drop something like a gun in GTA 5, it won't fall down the back of a gap
No.
or like in between bollards or something.
Yeah.
It's like it'll bounce off because it's
Bounce off, sit
imaginary.
there, yeah.
That's the next step, I think. And I think with people, I don't want Uncanny Valley to be fixed.
No.
Because imagine you're playing like
We were saying about this, you get slasher
Yeah.
game.
you get traumatized.
Can you imagine a horror game?
I think horror games are going to be fucking biblical in the next
Yeah.
10 years. Like indiscreet, like causing actual trauma. Horror
But
games.
imagine you are capable technology-wise to make something indistinguishable from reality, and then you make like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Yup. Or even like a basic game like COD, like everyone plays.
Do you know what?
You'd be traumatized.
But imagine educational purposes, right? Operation
Yeah, mate. There's
for like
so many.
doctor training.
Yeah, this is gonna be
Like,
so many.
mix in, indistinguishable graphics with VR
Mm.
and teaching someone how to like operate on someone. It's invaluable, really. Isn't
Invaluable.
Yeah.
And like helping people with let's say agoraphobia.
it? Yeah,
I'm not really outside, or like
but I can enjoy it. So
yeah, or high level like germophobia, right? Like I'm not outside, I can touch this thing.
Yeah.
Or it has so many if we could fix it. But there's also, like anything, great room for harm
Yeah.
and great room for good.
It's like we said before. I'm telling you, the main pushing for this is porn. I'm telling you, mate.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, the moment that they can make like porn actresses are probably shitting it. You know what I mean? Because fucking like it's like I said to you. Imagine. So you got the technology to make something in a 3D space indistinguishable from reality, right? Imagine fucking I don't know Pornhub, right? Like Pornhub by a subsidiary of like Sony Games, right? And then I'm not saying they are. Other game
Yeah.
studios do this as well, but they make a game and it's just called My Girlfriend or My Boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
and you can create a human being that is indistinguishable from reality mixed with VR, and you can make like the perfect or your version of perfect woman, man, whatever. And then obviously by that time there should have been leaps and bounds in the AI space, and that that program can interact with you as if it's real. Mate, you are literally, it's bad for humanity, but you are literally printing money.
You are. Yeah.
Absolutely
And, like,
printing money.
It would exacerbate the already increasing.
And it will just be, I'll
incel
tell you,
problem.
because it'd be indistinguishable from reality, right? So, in the vulgarest terms that I can think of, you can fuck it, right? So, even normal people, right? Imagine like someone just broke up with their missus or something, and they go on Steam and fucking my girlfriend is 50% off for like 20 quid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, just having a normal wank just seems a bit fucking pointless now. I'll just go and do that. You know, it's just. I reckon, literally, the porn industry. I think the workers are scared, but the people that make the money are probably like fucking really want this.
But I think art spaces in general should be scared of
Yeah.
that. Like, if you're a director, I'm gonna deal with actual actors. I can download them.
Yeah.
And they will do everything I want perfectly.
Yeah. But like, hey.
That's much further down the road,
Hey.
but yeah.
Mr. Downey Jr., do you want to be in my movie? No, well, you're going to be anyway.
100% though. 100%. Next 50 years, this is my prediction. People will sell their likeness. So,
You can
this is a
use
model
that.
of me. You can use this for 50 quid, 100 quid a year, something like that, right? So I think, but even then though, will that even be worth anything? As long as you've got a face, you can make the body
Do you know
whatever
what
you want,
would
right?
be incredible.
What?
Incredible, right?
What?
So kind of like with the fun facts thing, like the years in advance, right?
Mm.
Imagine, so like for you, for instance, during, you know, from, I don't know, probably about 12 until recently, like Iron Man cinematically, Robert Downey Jr. specifically, has been like the bomb, right? Imagine you're 60, Robert Downey Jr. is long dead, where I would imagine he would be by the time you're 60, and they make whatever the Avengers is at the moment, and they do another crossover event, and they're able to make an indistinguishable version of Robert Downey Jr. return in the Marvel and talk and speak and interact. Can you imagine the pull that movie would have?
That would be the creepiest mainstream thing I've ever seen.
It would just be like, and like for his family being able to watch him do something.
That must be really fucked.
new.
Yeah.
You know, watch him do something new, and be like, this never happened, but he's like doing it, and you'd be like, what the fuck's going on here? Like,
That'd be too much of my emotions.
yeah, my emotions. But yeah, it would be bonkers.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
like, imagine, last point,
Yeah.
imagine you lose a loved one.
Yeah. Well, this was the thing.
How do you process that healthily when you know you could see
Do you
them
remember-
again?
Do you remember? It's probably years ago now, maybe even 10. But I think it was Jay-Z or Kanye West did wrapped with a 2-pack hologram.
Hologram. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently his family were just like, this is amazing.
They were happy about it.
Really happy about it because they got to see him like he was real, like again, and he was like on stage, and they thought it was just incredible, you know. And they saw it before it was live, like
Yeah,
saw it,
obviously.
and they were just like, this is amazing, you know. So I'd imagine it'd be like that for some, but other people may find it really uncomfortable.
I think I would have the opposite reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends though, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
if he's like, if Robert Downey Jr. is like, yo, I want to be in this film infinitely forever, even after I die, you'd be like, oh, I'm happy because he got his wish, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if they never gave permission for that kind of thing, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
a
it'd
bit
be a
weird.
bit.
Like, imagine if he didn't. Imagine if Tupac was still alive and he didn't like Kanye. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it would
He
happen,
wouldn't have.
but
He-
yeah. You know what I mean?
But yeah, anyway, so part 5, last thing, it's just things that made us laugh for the week. Go with mine first, which is this picture of me from 2 years ago. Look at the skin on this guy. Look at it. He's he's gorgeous, isn't he? No, look, compare.
That's why you bought your Perfectil back, eh?
Yeah, I bought some skin. Mate, I'm telling you. Well, basically, the story behind this is when I first started doing my diet, I also wanted to change basically everything. So I just thought like I was living like a pig. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started taking care of my skin, and look at what it used to look like, Zack.
It's impressive.
It's fucking crazy. What a guy.
I think also, like I said to you earlier,
I look like 10 years younger.
you do. You look like 23.
And that is only about 19 months old, that picture.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking mental.
Yeah, but like I've said to you before, I think it's hard to quantify because you were fixing everything at once. What was helping the most?
Yeah.
Like you said, oh, it's weird seeing because you showed a picture of me with a spot. I was like, really weird seeing you with a spot. I'm like, I get spots all the time now, but probably because my diet has just been like grease for 2 years,
Grease.
or a year, I guess.
And you're a sweaty boy, aren't you?
I'm a sweaty boy.
Yeah.
Sweaty boy. In fairness, to me,
Yeah.
when I was skinny, I was still a sweaty boy.
Were you?
I proper sweat no matter
But
what.
when you were skinny, your sweat didn't include grease. Like now
It didn't include grease.
Now you
And
just kind of
also,
sweat gravy.
It didn't smell nearly as bad. I'm telling you, it's insane.
But yeah, I saw it, and obviously that's kicked me into gear. I bought Perfectil, which are like pills.
Pills
and
to
like
perfectil your skin.
yeah, like exfoliation shit, and just loads of stuff because I want to get back to that as close as I can. And also, you can see how like lockdown has like affected like the color of my skin.
As in,
Like I'm well darker in that picture right there.
yeah.
Like I look like I got like caramel skin in that. That looks lush.
I wonder
know
if
what
you had proper tan then, because that was what, spring in that photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd have been like out in the sun, enjoying
Actually
that shit.
walking daily, remember that? Yeah.
Walking that shit daily. You know what I mean? Going on 3-4 mile walks every day.
Mate, 6 months, easy peasy.
Yeah, but the thing is, I live in a place now where it's not really nice to walk around.
It's really
I
not.
get knifed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's also very concrete. It's not very
yeah. Like before, I could walk in this nice, luscious fucking area. Now it's just like walk up the path.
Up the
on the
path.
side of the road.
on the
Side
fucking
of the
fucked
road.
up pavement. Yeah.
Walk past some hobos.
Some chavs.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
asked if I can buy some cigarettes from some 10-year-olds. That kind of stuff. But yeah, that was mine. I don't know. It didn't actually make me laugh. Probably made me cry, really.
Oh, it's funny to see that 3 years ago you looked 23. Or 19 months ago you looked 23.
I look 23, yeah. God damn.
And you do look like a fucking baby there. It's
I
mad.
do.
My one, oh
So
my god.
if I'm ever in need of a laugh or smile, I will watch this on loop. Oh,
If
God.
anyone's feeling down, I will.
I love it. Have you never seen this before?
No, I saw it. I think last year or something. I was in like a dark spot, and I was like, "Oh my god! If I watch this for long enough, I will go into a laughing fit."
It's how his mouth's kept open.
And it's how it's the last frame of.
It's his eyes as well. You can tell he's fucked up. He's like, but yeah, that brings us to the end of the pod, people. Pod peoples. Pod people. Pod. How do you think the pod went, mate?
Mate, I think every time we finish one, it's better than the last.
I think so. I hope so.
It's
If
upsetting.
it kept getting worse, we'd probably just pack it in there.
It's upsetting that I just realised this is episode 2.
Oh, shit. It won't say episode 2 by the time I've
That's
re-edited
fine. Well,
it.
it does now, but that's fine. It looks good. I think every week we're getting a bit more into the swing of things. We know how we play off each other better each time on a pod setting, and like our topics lead into other topics naturally, which I like. Yeah, it's going well.
Shit. Yeah. Oh man.
And we're losing weight, so fuck yeah.
How have I not noticed it? I didn't change the fucking.
I noticed about 15 minutes ago. I was like, oh no.
That's fine. But anyway, thank you very much, peoples, for watching / listening episode 3, season 1 of the Fat Podcast. Or the Fat Pod.
And if you're on your journey, share it with us.
Yeah,
and like
share it with
we're
us.
glad to see
Join the
every
group.
time
Join the Facebook group.
someone says, "Oh, it's good," and I'm back on the wagon again. We've had a few of those.
Yeah, exactly.
We're really happy.
We've
about
had some
that,
really
yeah.
positive messages, which has been quite nice.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Even the negative ones. Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, the Facebook link will be in the description below. If you're listening, all you got to do is just go on Facebook and search the Fat Podcast, and you will see the group. And just join.
Or-
It's open to public.
Or if you're really struggling, because I know some people are, in the YouTube search, type in "We jiggle when we jump."
Yeah, jiggle when we jump. Yeah,
Jiggle when we jump. Yeah.
yeah.
And that'll
That'll take us to the chan. Take you to the chan. And then on there we got loads of stuff from olden
Yeah.
times, which
Probably
might
some
help you.
very funny hypocritical quotes from me, like, I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to stick
You'll
with
be able to
this.
see really, really skinny Zach telling you
Oh my
he's
God.
fat. Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
It's
God.
really fun.
Don't watch the video where I first get a car, because it's just sad.
But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.